but the exchange rate is is a factor. I don't know if you guys have any questions.
Couple. So
Yeah.
the gas is it simply just because prices rose and we're not consuming anymore. It's just, is that a function of the price, or are we consuming more propane or gas?
In the well, so in the gas, a lot of the the capabilities of the tank, we have not been expand in refilling those tanks, but we basically we did not accrue maybe enough in the past month to this, and we I mean it can give a more clear explanation than this, but this was for the for some pending expenses to be executed, and we are now our tanks are more filled than the end of the month, the past month. I don't know, tell you if you can
So next month it'll be lower.
it will be on part of a budget.
Just give us 1 minute, David. I have Itzel next to me.
Hello, everyone.
Which one should I?
Utilities. Okay, we don't have the detail right here, but one of the things that is affecting the most on utilities is the expenses on electricity. Yes, we have some difference in gas as well, but the difference in relation to electrical consumption is mostly related with the restaurants. If you remember, we previously were charging 52 and 48 in between the two properties, and now we're charging 60/40. So this difference is like impacting around $5,000 by month, very much. Maybe there are some other details that are not recalling at this point, but that's what I have so far in my mind.
And what Said was saying is that if we put some gas in the tanks at the end of the month, it's going to probably be to use in the next month. So instead of deferring that expense, it remains in the P&L. So we are, I mean, not for sure, but most likely we'll have savings next month.
Yes, sometimes it's related with, in relation to what Kenny just mentioned. It sometimes it's just because the time where the invoice is processed. Sometimes at the end of the month we fill some tanks and are processed on the following months. So that's why in some months it could looks like lower, and then the following months it looks a little higher on the expenses.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Audit resolution.
Thank you, Roberto. Well, as you know, we have been in talks with the audit team, and David and Shelley have been more on this side of the operation, and we are sharing now the audit resolution. This is the opinion from the auditors, and it's a positive one. And no additional statements are included here, so it's a clean opinion. So we are pretty happy with that, and the observation from this year have been have been cleared. A lot of them, like the 50% of the observations have been cleared. These in detail, we reviewed this information already with Shelley and David, with the auditors, more in depth, but we're happy to share that we are taking the right footing with this, and we hope to get even better for next year. So.
Hey, that's great news.
Yes.
Roberto, just kind of question for you. I think this is news worth celebrating for all, all the homeowners would love to hear this, right? Particularly those people that are skeptical of, the audit and so forth. Is this something, Roberto, you'll put in your next kind of quarterly communication, for example?
Yeah, Todd, in agreement with the settlement agreement that was signed in 2024, this has to be published, and it was published last weekend. data is uploaded into Town Square, and everybody who is signed with Town Square receive a notification. It has
Oh,
been
great.
uploaded. Now, what we did last year, because the time lapse fall into the, it was a perfect timing, is in my newsletter, I send a communication, a note saying that it was done on time. So I will do the same, although this next communication will be done in September.
Oh, not till September is the next one. Okay. Well,
But
you answered my question. If you're telling me everybody that signed up for Town Square has already been notified, then that's great, but maybe not a bad idea for those that don't pay attention to Town Square to just give it a quick mention, right, in your September statement.
yeah, I was last week. I had the thought about sending a particular email, letting everybody know. But according to the settlement agreement, it does not state that. It states that we have to upload it into a portal that can be visualized by everyone who is a member of the Condominio Esperanza. So we did in agreement with the settlement.
Yeah, I understand.
Thank you, Roberto.
Thank
And
you.
for the delinquency, a lot of effort has been put into the collection of the accounts receivable. Right now, the list that you are seeing is the ones that we have been in trouble communicating with, and those are the ones that have been notified. More information for this will be in the next slides when Roberto shared what has been talked with the lawyers and the procedure that we took in order for us to take the next steps for these particular accounts. I can tell you that, I don't know, it's already took it off, but some of the ones that have been notified are already one paid and one is in talk, and another one is in talks to pay his balance. So we are taking the right steps in order for us to collect all the accounts that we have pending, and we are pretty advanced in comparison to last year's. So that's a good note as well. I don't know, Roberto, if you can go to the next slide. Okay.
Thank you, Saif.
No,
So,
thank
yeah,
you.
To Saif's comment about that, I will start with the collection process. As you know, last week we had a meeting with Caipe, with Jose Manuel. David, thank you for joining. Before the meeting, he shared with us the law firm process summary that explains clearly, in adherence with the rules and regulations, what steps should we be taking and how to approach them. What we did 2 weeks, well, last week at the beginning of the week, Monday, we elaborate letters to the previous slide that Said just showed us, this one. We we did letters where we strictly made them in accordance to the summary. These letters have been sent out last week where we notify what services or but basically what services will be for bid for owners who were delinquent as agreed. Each letter has the next reservation, which we cannot stop them from having. It shows September. Pretty much all of them are on September and October. Some of them are in 2027. So we send the letters. We have received emails back. Some of them have already paid. So we're keeping close track of that. I don't know if David, Shelley, Todd have any questions on this.
So is the end result that if a owner does not pay their dues, we can deny them services while on property, but we cannot deny them the access to their property?
100% right. Yes, Shelley, we can restrict services, but we cannot prohibit access. That's what it reads there. We can stop concierge, pre-arrival, transportation arrangement, housekeeping, Wi-Fi, that is going to be like a major one for sure. Butler services, yeah, all those.
So what about
So-
if they show up at like they go to the swimming pool?
Well, that's another topic. Number one, if we look at the services we can prohibit, and look at this: butler, Wi-Fi, housekeeping, pre-arrival services, transportation services. When we go into those restrictions, we are not affecting we are not affecting the experience of anybody else but them. If we get a police or security in the pools, prohibit access, it's going to get nasty. It's going to get very for the experience of people next door of the next lounger. And then the experience is going to be affected for everyone, not only for people who's not paying, but affecting housekeeping, butler, Wi-Fi, pre-arrival services, golf carts, that's going to be affecting them only.
Can we turn off the electric?
David, don't.
Not electrical.
Roberto.
We cannot stop electrical services, neither. We cannot prohibit electrical or water.
David, don't you think that these reductions in services are big enough to turn that we're not going to have it'll stop people from coming and if we got to cross the bridge of what happens if they come anyway, maybe we just deal with that then. But Roberto, if you got tight communication to tell people that all of these things go away, I think 1 out of 1,000 are going to come anyway, right? So
well, we have had a very good response.
Yeah.
Most of them have been contacting us to clarify the statements, and they want to, get on track. And we haven't seen anyone complaining, basically, right?
No one.
It's more their interest on what's going on with the statement, why they didn't know. I don't know how, but why they didn't know, and they are willing to, resolve the issue.
So on one side of the equation is the owner management scenario, and so that's good that the owners are responding in a positive manner. Even Franz, is not going to. The big thing for her is going to be rental, and you can't rent it out and then tell your guests that they have no services on arrival. So that
France is not an issue because France already paid out.
But I'm just saying it for the future.
Yeah.
Because she's the one that had what's his name send the letter that says you can't do this, you can't do that. I can't think of his name right now. Michael Levin. So he sent the letter as an attorney, basically saying you can't restrict the access. One of the problems I have is that we're paying Kaipe again, and we paid Kaipe before, and Kaipe is the one that said we could do that. And so I'm like, I'm confused over Kaipe. I think it's my struggle is that it took another owner, that person's attorney, who happens to also be an owner, to come give us an opinion that we paid Kaipe for, and it was wrong, is basically what we're determining at this point. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think you are correct. I think all the advice that we seek for was from Kaipe. Let me go back a couple of years. When I started in 2024, Kaipe was kind of brand new. Before that, and Todd, maybe you know better than me, for over 15 years, there was another law firm. Tom Perrin, and not to blame it on him but he's the one back then who was the president of the RSC. And he, with the team, with the RSC, decided to go with Kaipe. My feedback, my opinion with some of you, with Tom, he knows that you can call him and ask him, is the timing or the response from Kaipe, it's always kind of, I wish they would act faster, because for me to get this summary took many or several calls and pressure. So if they would become a little bit more expedite and with a clear response like the one we got this time, something in writing, it would avoid a lot of confusion and back and forth.
They wrote and reviewed and approved our entire delinquency policy.
No, but
which included the restriction of access to the units.
The delinquency policy, and this letter is done according with the delinquency process, but it was not with all the detail or the level of detail that it's at this moment. This is something very important. At this moment, he made this required notice procedure, which is not stated in the delinquency policy, with all the information that should have a letter or these letters moving forward. So
Kelly,
that's something.
Understood.
Shelley, what do you think about this, right? If we're not delighted with the service, according to Roberto, or the accuracy of what Kaipe is doing for us, let's invite them to come see us in our September meeting and tell them face to face and ask the hard question, Shelley. How did you guys get this wrong? And why are you not being more responsive? And if we don't like what we hear, we'll change.
Yeah, I do think that they should have to come in because
Yeah.
it is, I mean, we kind of sit here with a little bit of egg on our face trying to implement a policy that then one of our owners comes
Said
back to
you're
us
wrong.
and says
Yeah.
you're wrong, and we actually are wrong. And
Right.
we'd asked the attorneys for the opinion of whether or not we could do it. Their answer was yes, which is why we published that to everybody, and then why we started a process that actually is not even legal per the agreement. So that's disappointing, is the point.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I
So,
agree with you,
yeah.
Shelley. And so if we are in agreement and it's going to be part of the minutes from this meeting, I will make sure that for the September meeting, Kaipe is included in one of our conversations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you. So for your information, we have started our internal process for the budget season. We had a kickoff call that Fernando led on the 24th of last month of June. So he gave his introduction of what is expected to have in this budget season. The departments involved, very important. Now we have housekeeping, IT, engineering, security, payroll, talent and culture. We will be holding weekly meetings through the month of July, just to get all the documents together. Sahib is sharing the template of all the information that should be populated. So on August the 3rd, and you have this information, on August the 3rd is just to refresh your mind. This goes to the home office team, corporate. Then on the 13th, they come back we have a call with them. Then on August 19, you should be receiving the budget or the draft of the budget once it has been revised. And then we start moving with all of you back and forth. We have the on-site meeting on Monday, August 31st. But by then, you should have been answered questions on emails. So then, hard date, Monday, September 28th, we should have, and we must have a budget so we can share it with Kaipe or the law firm so they can start working on the calls for the assembly and have a better process than we had last year. Very important. I'm sorry. We have the assembly on the first Wednesday of November. The invoices will be sent out on Monday, November 23rd. They are going to be due on December 31st, and then the collection process will be delinquent as of January 30. So we are trying to make better processes. I have that. I have that on the timeline. So everything should be better. We have a collection process. We have letters. And we have an accounting system. Yes, David.
So I can wait to the end, but the most important thing that I see here is at what point, and this is for Yenny and Sahib, will we need to know at the exchange rate and with as much certainty as we can so that we can hedge out our currency risk. You know, that's always been the issue. And how much cash will we have for any type of margin calls if we do this forward, which won't be as significant as I think we've thought it would be, but in terms of our ability to lock in 74% of the new budget into pesos and take away all this currency, noise and risk that we have. So we have to be very mindful of our cash position in particular, right? In November, right at the end of November.
Yeah. For this beginning period or the first period before review in the home office, we're using the average of the year, which is around 17.5. And I mean, to be fair and comparable with this year as well. Then we will have at least, I think, 2 or 3 times to update it once we are more close to November, and before presenting it to you and agree on the new budget. But definitely we will have, we can inform you in the monthly meetings, what is the rate of exchange that corporate office is giving us and what we're using to see if we're aligned.
Yeah, I selfishly, I don't want to have any more currency conversations next year.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and honestly, David, it's a pressure for all the operations department because, as Kenny says, we have to become very efficient. Not that we don't do it, but more, and we have to always be mindful of the exchange rate and how is that going to affect the financials. So it's been a nightmare for all the team.
Yeah, no, it is, and this will be for maybe I should introduce this later, but between now and December 31st, we have to effectively find 3.5% reduce, look for ways to get back 3.5% of our overall budget. I mean, it's a big number, but as a percentage, I think we can do it, right? Well, we're effectively going to be over budget by 3.5%. But that's $700,000 of roughly $19 million.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, that's the biggest challenge we face. And we don't need to face it next year if we get the currency thing corrected or better managed. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, on another note, I want to share with you that we have our Peakon employee voice survey that we do it twice a year. We had the first one, and we did, as residences, we did a 9.7. The previous the previous survey that we did on December was 9.5. So we can sense that our team is 0.2 above last year's well-being. So this is a great number. We are 0.8 above Auverge's portfolio. So this is a great, so that shows that the management and yourself care about how the team is doing.
And how does that look if you can tell, like somebody who works at the Four Seasons or Petrogal or whatever?
Overall, a 9.2, 9.3, it's very high. If I remember when I was at the Ritz-Carlton, we had 9.0, and it was high compared to Marriott standards.
Okay.
And now we'll jump into the special projects with Excel and the budget executed and the real. Yeah.
Thank you, Roberto. So we can see right here is the current status of the special projects. So just to remind you that this is what has been spent so far. So we have spent so far $700,000. However, we have assigned more than that amount. Most of these projects are going to be executed during the low season, starting on the end of July and August. So we want to see at the end of August this number going up. Can we go to the next one?
Itzel, can you explain for me the percentage column? So for example, if you go back a slide,
Yep.
It says phase 2 model.
Yes.
And it says 350 and 166, but 5%. So I'm not totally understanding what that 5% means versus those two numbers.
Yeah, it's wrong. The percentage is wrong. Thank you for pointing that. And but the number on the column of the executed is correct, and that is in relation to how much have we paid to Rome.
So we've given Rome $166,000 so far for the model unit. Am I understanding correctly?
Yeah, that's correct.
The design.
The design.
The design. Okay.
So is
And
your
that
5
5% number's inaccurate? Is that what you're saying? Or the
Yes,
350s? Okay, got it. Okay.
Well, so the next one, please. Okay, this same on housekeeping side, so pretty much is the complement of the whole list. 700,000 executed so far. We go to the next one, and 1 million signed. aside. Sorry. Next one. Okay, this is how it looks the calendar for the special project. Some of them have been already completed, and some of them still being on process or about to be executed. Talking about specifically about source development plan, we have already assigned the civil works project to a local company, and they are starting the process to get the permits and licenses this week. So we are pretty confident that we're gonna have the licenses ready in the following 2 weeks. Next step is gonna be to send all the information in relation to the to how it's gonna look to Punta Ballena. We need to get approval from the design committee, so we'll send that information today, most probably. Continuing with project, this is in relation to reserves contribution. We haven't seen this slide of the past presentations, but we wanted to share at this point. Many of these projects are related with luxury villas renovation that we have about to happen. So that's the one we have highlighted like in a light blue. And the other ones are in the process to be executed, as we can see in the presentation. These are the other projects for reserves contribution. Again, the ones highlighted in blue are related with the luxury villas, and they're going to be executed at the same time of the luxury villas renovation. This is the projects that are going to be executed the following months. Kind of a brief resume of this. So for the luxury villas are about to happen in August, the beginning of August, and then we have the facade painting for September, starting on September, and the hot tub renovation starting on this month. We're about to start with this. This is for the sewage treatment plant. As I said, the civil project was assigned to a company, and we're in the process to get the permits and license to the government. In relation to phase 2 renovation, the past week we have received from Park the new conceptual board, considering all the comments from past meetings. So far what they did is to update the cost of all the equipment, considering that the old furniture is made in Mexico and only fabrics are getting from the other countries. So based on this and moving some furniture like the terrace flooring, terrace furniture. We have the amount of pretty much close to 500,000. We're about to share this with Grace and Tom to consider. So far is how we see it before.
Can you, Itzel, will you please send me a copy of this slide so I can kind of look at it and digest it a little bit?
Todd, we'll be sharing this presentation with you after the meeting.
Oh, great. Perfect. Good. Thank you.
Any other questions you have for me? If not, thank you so much.
Actually, it's I did want to ask about the expansion on the offices. How is that going? Because it was just starting when I left.
Well, we're happy to say that the financing is about to move to the offices. It's already completed. They are doing right now final connections on the fire system, but the offices has been completed so far. So by Wednesday, they will be moving to the new offices. That's the update.
Okay, that's exciting.
Yes, it is.
The nightmare is going to be over for reservations and finance on this side of the wall. Let's go to the picture.
Yes.
So, going back to that, Roberto, after the meeting, can you take some pictures and send it out? Of
course.
See it.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Sorry, David, but I did sharing some pictures with Mark.
Okay.
But I'll do it to you. I'll go and you got the newest ones.
Yeah, we know where we rank now, Roberto. Thank you.
I will send them to all of you. Yeah.
After that one, I think we have, yes. Yeah, this is just a brief mention about that we have, we did some, repairs on the koi palapa because we noticed that the palapa was like kind of going to one of the sides. And then we hired a company to check both the good and the structure, and we found out that some poles to be replaced. So we did just to keep the palapa safe and used for owners. So that was done on the past weeks. That's what you are seeing on the pictures. And we took the opportunity to at the same time.
Okay, thank you, Itzel. So two things. I have already a date for our monthly call for next month, actually for July. I will be sending the invite. I will be sending you the minutes from this meeting shortly, along with the presentation. Well, I will be sending the presentation today as soon as Itzel gets correction on the percentage of the completion on the model unit design. And in a couple of days, the minutes of this meeting. I don't know if you have any questions. And Mark, no, I'm sorry, Todd.
Yeah.
I can get back to you after the call so we can.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Nothing urgent. Just wanted to kind of catch up on phase 2 stuff. That's all. Since
Perfect. I will
that's
have Itzel joining the call as well.
yeah, perfect. Great.
Thank you. Shirley, anything else you want to add?
I just wanted to, I was going to go back and pull it in my own information of what the original budget was approved for Rome. Like, where do we stand on just the Rome piece, what we've spent with them, and what I know that there was a $350,000 total, but I don't know everything. Was that only Rome fees that in the 350 and versus the 166 we paid?
Okay,
Or did it include some actual furniture and work, right, Shelley, to the model?
Remember this, for the design stage, it was 400K and the model unit 350. Out of those 400K, they were already for 2024 towards 2025 approved. I can get back to you on the numbers because we have that we always talk about those numbers with owners when they come over and ask for phase 2 renovation.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you. Well, thank you for
Yeah,
your
send it to everybody, Roberto. I'm sure it's a great question. I'm sure
Yeah.
we're all interested in that. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank
day.
you, everyone.
Zahid, enjoy your vacation. Are you going on vacation?
I am doing it. Thank
Yeah,
you very
good
much.
for you. Yeah, enjoy. Thanks.
So,
Bye.
bye.